what is your first like stunt? What is the first when someone says to you, like, does someone come in and they're like, they're sick, and you're like, I can fill in? Like, how does that happen?
Okay, so I was doing hair for movies, and most of the time hair people interact with stunt people because you're putting wigs on them. You're creating the shape of their hair to make it the match. Because there are stunt doubles, and then there are stunt performers where you're an actor doing a stunt, and so that's a whole different ballgame as well. So whenever I was doing the doubles, I thought to myself, like, every time someone would come in my chair, I would say, oh, like, what's your background? And sometimes they have an amazing background, and sometimes they're somebody's wife.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, that's really cool, and you don't want to tell somebody you want their job, because that's just not how that works. And so I figured out how the industry worked, and it's called hustling. And so there were a few coordinators, actually, locally, and I told them my background, and I said if they ever needed additionals, like nondescript characters is what that's called, that I would love an opportunity, and here's my skill set and my training, and then you get the offer to potentially do it, which opens the world for you.
Right, yeah, because then you get that one chance under the spotlight, and if you kill it, you get more. If you don't, then that's your only chance you're ever probably going to get, and you go back to the hair and makeup chair.
Right.
So you must have killed that opportunity then.
Yeah, so my first stunt was for a movie called The Pale Door, and it was a horror film, and the full makeup was like 4 hours sitting in the chair. Obviously, I was unrecognizable. Photos are pretty funny. People were like, that's you? I was like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
And so I was very fortunate to have the opportunity because there aren't a lot of stunt women here, and they didn't want to bring in people from out of state because that's just a lot more for the production. And so my first stunt was breaking through a door, and then there's like a fight that's happening behind us because in the movie there's like, it's like a witches in a brothel, and like it's crazy.
Yeah. What was that like watching it back, being like, that's actually me?
It feels really good.
You're texting your dad, you're like, hey dad, not working the dildos anymore, but I broke down through this wall after 4 hours of makeup.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's interesting because I've been on set for so long that it's like I don't want to say adrenaline because it's not, because adrenaline can mess with like your focus. And so it was exhilarating, I suppose, and it was a moment where I'm like, wow, I'm really doing it. I'm doing what I want to do, and nothing can stop me now. Type of thing. Yeah,
because and I'm sure, like, I guess you've probably watched it back multiple times on the camera while you were there doing it, so then when you see it on...
actually.
No, you don't do
sometimes
it?
You can, sometimes you can't. So it depends. Like, it's funny because that was like the last shot. It's 6 a.m. We're on a night shoot. We're about to get the sun. We have to do this. Let's go. And it's like, there's no time. We prepared that day. We knew what we were going to do. I knew the way I was going to go through the door because then there was a banister on the other side. So I had to like tuck just right to make sure I didn't break my neck. And so it's like all these... you work all this mechanic stuff out, and then it's like, okay, it's go time. We have 5 minutes. We need to wrap. Crew is about to hit overtime.
Gotcha.
Because then you think about everybody who now goes over 12 hours. Like, think about how much more money that
makes total sense. By you like saying, hey, I want to see that. It's going to cost possibly thousands of dollars in extra crew fees. Okay, that makes total sense.
Because it wasn't anything that's like a car turnover where you're going to need to maybe do it again differently.
Have you done that stuff?
I have not done a car turnover.
Not rolling cars yet?
Not yet, but I am very fortunate to be mentored by people that's one of their specialties.
Awesome.
And they've done like thousands. So I'm like, I can't wait.
I'm picturing like Michael Bay movies just blowing stuff up constantly and seeing cars fly through the air, and I mean, he's good at that.